Hi guys, welcome back to another Counterside video. While we all agree that PvP in Counterside is very interesting and arguably more balanced than many of the other gacha games, the learning curve is actually pretty steep, at least by my standards. So I've decided to run you through the basics of PvP matches here in Counterside. If you are stuck in bronze or silver, I hope this video helps advance you to gold league or beyond, and for those who are struggling in gold, hopefully this video could improve your experience playing PvP. It's a game, it's supposed to be fun, so let's have fun. So grab a coffee, sit back and relax. When you're ready, let's go. In this video, I'm gonna briefly run through the basic things you should know to at least make your ranked gauntlet sessions not a complete wreck. After this video, you'll be able to make some tweaks, and I promise you, you'll see more wins than you did before. I can't guarantee high and consistent win rates, but I assure you, something will change. So here are the 6 things you need to know to not suck at PvP. Number 1. Choosing your team comp and ship. Having the right ship with the right lineup of employees is the most important thing out of the tips today. A good ship is one that not only complements the key factor of your lineup, but also provide utility that can put you in an advantageous position. An example of a good and competitive team comp would be like Enterprise with a composition that uses rangers to deal most of its damage, New Detroit with a striker heavy comp, or New Ohio with a composition that relies on timing and opportunity. Number 2. Choosing the right leader. The leader's role provides 2 benefits to the employee who's given the role. They get their cost reduced by 1 and they will always be in your starting hand at the beginning of the battle. Do be reminded that this also applies to up units, but you cannot reduce their cost below 1. Why is the leader role important is because you want to be holding your most important unit in your hand at the beginning of the battle. For example, if you're using Awakened Hill in your team, reducing her cost to 5 and always having her in your initial hand would be the most beneficial thing you can do. Number 3. Field of battle. At the beginning of the battle, there's a limit to how far you can deploy your units away from your ship. However, there are some units that is not affected by this restriction, allowing for more creative plays. Understanding your own team comp, you need to know on which side of the field is to your advantage. For example, having the initial clash begin near your ship gives high deployment cost teams an advantage as the bulk of the forces requires some time to snowball and arrive at the breaking point. Whereas a rush team with low deployment costs often would be more advantageous being deployed closer to the enemy ship so they can push all the way to the end much quicker. Speaking of which, I'll be producing videos looking into all 5 things mentioned in this particular one, so hit the subscribe button so I can notify you when they're out. Moving on to number 4. Placement. This is pretty straightforward. Where does your unit stand individually on the field will decide whether he or she is going to contribute to your battle. For instance, if you are at the enemy ship and you deploy Xiaolin at the beginning where your ship is, would be an absolute waste of time, as she have to slowly trickle her way into range to start attacking. The time she stays idle doing nothing also means that the full deployment resource you spend to deploy her might as well be just stuck in your deployment resource bar. So don't do this, you might as well just save the resource, wait and drop her at the place that she can do something. Number 5. Deployment. This one is tricky. Knowing where to deploy your choice of unit can sometimes make or break the game. Like dropping Shifuyu first, and letting her walk towards Awakened Hill greatly reduces her significance on the battle. Because when Shifuyu activates her skill at the same time Awakened Hill activates hers, Awakened Hill's skill animation frames immunity will just cancel out the effect. Ultimately, you want to understand how your units enter the field, what they do, and how they carry out their job. Number 6. Meta. In my opinion, Counterside has one of the best, if not the best, meta system out there. Having it change almost weekly creates variety, and a broken unit will someday be unusable, passing on the crown to another unit. So don't be discouraged if one week you're owning and the other, everything is banned. It happens quite often. The moral of the story is to play the way you like, be original, if you can. Following the meta one step behind will probably kick you in the nuts before you even know it. By now, you can probably use this as a checklist to see if there's anything you never cared about before. That could be why you are not enjoying PvP as you should or stuck at the lower leagues. If this isn't enough to help you for now, don't worry, I'll be releasing more videos talking about each of these things very soon. Until then, game on, bye.